So, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Barbara Chanakera. I'm the founder of Eton Property Consultants in Mayfair. We offer property services in prime locations in the United Kingdom.
Okay, fantastic. And how long have you been running Eton Properties for?
So I set up Eton Properties in 2011. So it's been going for about, I'm not sure how many years is that. Okay. Yeah, so since
so it's been running since 2011?
Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. And so prior to that, how did you start your journey? Did you always live here, or is this
So I came to the UK in 2001.
Let me know how you got started. What got you started in this journey in the first place?
The property industry.
Just in general, what made you you?
Okay, so I came to the United Kingdom in 2001, and initially I was going to study financial economics, but things didn't work that way, so I started working straight away. I worked in a restaurant in TGI Fridays, but I always knew that there was more that I wanted to do and achieve. So I started looking for, I'm confused, sorry.
That's fine.
I got confused, sorry.
So that was perfect what she said. So let's continue from TGI. Just have a little thought about your process.
Okay.
So what happened? Let's just have a quick conversation and then you can relay it back. So what happened in TGI Friday? So while you was working there, how did you know that you was going to be successful?
Sorry. Don't call me successful yet. Should you call me successful?
Of course. Will you? Okay, Sam. I want to hear your opinion.
I walk into this house, I can tell you're successful.
She owns a company called Eton Properties, and she has what made you want to become an entrepreneur? That's that's a risky path. It's not conventional. Probably your friends, I'm sure they told you, get a secure job or career. Have you like?
I've got quite a lot of friends who are entrepreneurs.
So that's probably what motivated you in the first place.
Yes, well, that and also the freedom of being there for my daughter at the time.
Perfect. Bring your daughter in. That's emotion.
Yeah.
As well as that. You see how you said you was writing on your CV, I wasn't sure if I was qualified enough to get into the role. I put in customer service, but for some reason I got into admin. And then from admin, oh my God, I got in a role in Mayfair. I love that story. If you was to convey that again today, right now, that would be amazing. And say it in your own way. If it doesn't work out the first time, we've got you.
How do you talking?
It's a prep. No, I don't know if you want me to stop. It's.
So you're giving it to her.
Okay.
No, isn't it? Does it help? If it doesn't help,
yeah, no. It's how we spoke about it yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just a little reminder, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So where were we?
TGI.
Okay. So I started working for TGI Fridays. But I always knew that there was more that I wanted to do, and there was more I wanted to achieve. But it was a very good start for me because I got to understand how things worked in the UK, how to deal with customers, because it starts from that sort of service. Then you'll be able to transfer those skills to doing other things as well. Then from TGI Fridays, I actually worked for American Express. I did customer services, so providing services to high net worth clients, but we actually didn't meet face to face. It was over the phone. A bit of cold calling as well. So it got me very confident with dealing with customers, even though it wasn't face to face. Then from there, I actually, developed great interest in property. But property is a very wide profession, because there are different professions within property. and most of them require you to have experience and qualification. So I decided to look into customer services because that was the least in the property industry that didn't require extensive qualifications or experience. I was able to transfer my customer services skills that I obtained from working at TGI Fridays and working at American Express into the property sector. So I got a job working for a property management company called Your Move in Torworth in Surrey. I worked there for I think about 2 years doing administration, and from there I was very interested in working in central London because this is where all the interesting things are in central London, nice restaurants, and I just wanted to work in the city. So I applied for a job as property manager for one of a top property company in Mayfair. It was called Blenheim Bishop, and I was offered the role instantly. I was actually quite surprised because I didn't think I had enough experience to work for that company, but I was very lucky that they gave me the job. Then from there I worked dealing with clients on a daily basis, dealing with tenants on a daily basis, managing their properties, visiting properties. I started enjoying a lot more of central London, of prime areas in London, visiting some amazing properties, and I was the first point of contact with the clients. Then I became pregnant with my first daughter, and the worry was childcare, and as you know, in the UK childcare is very expensive. I wanted to find something that would be flexible for me to be around looking after my daughter, as well as being able to work at my own pace. So I decided to set up Eton Property Consultants. It was a very, very big worry to start with because who lives a 9-to-5 job with guaranteed pay to go and set up something that you're not even sure, and in a very competitive area such as Mayfair. Mayfair is a very small location and very male dominated. There's some very strong and powerful people that have been working in this industry, in this area for over 30 years. So they understand the market and they're very, very well connected. It was also a very big worry for me to know whether I could fit in or not. But I had very good connections and good clients who, were happy to work with me and also to transfer, some referrals to me, and that's how I got started, basically.
What do you love about it? Why are you doing this?
Okay, why am I doing my business?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right.
Maybe bring your daughter out one more time.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say property is not easy at all. It's a very stressful profession. You deal with clients. Most of my clients are actually overseas investors. Some who don't understand how things work in the UK, and you have some who have their own views of how they expect things to work. So trying to make them understand how things should be can be a challenge. But I absolutely love the satisfaction that people have after listening to my advice and seeing that all I have is their best interest, making sure that they don't overpay if they're purchasing a property, or if they're renting out a property, that they look after the responsibilities as landlords, or if they're tenants, making sure that they know their responsibilities, because in other countries things work differently to how they do in the UK. So just seeing how happy the clients are at the end of the day, I've had lots of positive comments, lots of positive feedback from tenants, landlords. Some tenants have ended up being my friends, and landlords have recommended me to their friends. Until today, since I set up my business, I haven't advertised it. It's always been referrals. So, I pride myself for the service that I provide, and, I make people happy. So I love that.
That's amazing.
Cool. Nice.
Should I take that again? Do you think it could have been
That's
better?
fantastic.
No,
You nailed
no,
it. You did great.
If anything, talk about the obstacles where you had to face now. Because you spoke about the way you helped people, the impact you helped people, and now talk about your journey, the obstacles where you had to battle. So remember you was talking about it was a male-dominated business. So how did you
As well as the
combat
tunnel one, remember that we spoke about. So you could have easily, given that client.
Okay.
So
All
maybe
right.
two. So the male dominant maybe start with. And then
Okay.
the tunnel.
So,
that?
okay. Yeah. So.
There we go. Wait.
Okay. So basically, as I mentioned, that it's a very male-dominated industry, and especially in Mayfair, there are some strong, big property companies, well-established. There's been times where, when I first started, where you actually feel that you had to prove yourself to work with other companies, because if your clients are looking for properties to buy, you have to go out to the other agents that had those properties to try and, show your clients. But it was very difficult to break into, getting people to believe that you actually have those kind of clients. But after I did prove myself, I actually work with almost all the agents in Mayfair. I work with them on the letting side, I work with them on the sales side, and I've built very strong relationships with them.
That was amazing.
I was
That's great. Yeah.
You're a natural.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You warmed up now. That's good.
So the tunnel.
Okay, so
Sorry, once.
Okay, so when you're dealing with high net worth clients, sometimes, their emotions can take the best of them. When they see something they like, they're prepared to pay whatever it takes to get that. I'll give you an example. I had a client who absolutely loved a property in Mayfair, and, they wanted to buy that property no matter what. They asked me to put an offer on the property on their behalf and make sure that they buy the property. But after doing some investigation, because I did a bit of due diligence, which I normally do for all my clients, making sure that they're buying in the right locations, they're buying the right properties, I found out that the underground goes underneath the property. So if someone was staying in that property, they can actually feel a bit of vibration from the underground. So I contacted my client and I informed them that the property they were looking to purchase had the Jubilee line, going underneath. And the client, was like, it's an investment property. I don't really care. I want to buy it. But I had to, say to them that as it's an investment property, it will be very difficult to rent it out. People that will be renting are also high net worth, and they will not tolerate staying in a property where they can feel vibration. So I could have easily, let them buy the property and get a handsome commission at the end of the day. But I decided to look after my clients' interest, which is making sure that they're acquiring the right properties that, will not be a problem for them in the long run. So I decided to advise them against acquiring that particular property.
Nice.
Perfect story.
Could I ask, what are some key traits that you think make you good at your job?
Well,
Look at Faris as well, please.
okay, I look at Faris. Okay. Well, basically, I pride myself in the service that I provide, and it goes to show I haven't advertised my company since 2011 because, I provide a very personal service. People appreciate good service, but they even value personal service. I tailor my service to each and every client because, each and every client are not going to be the same. They're going to have different needs. They're going to have different requirements. They're going to be different people with different understanding. So if I can tailor my service specifically for that one client and making sure that their needs are met, then that's what makes me different, from the other companies or the other property companies around.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't like the ending of that.
That's right.
It was a bit.
Yeah, but you're right. Okay. I had a question.
Yes.
I was gonna say, okay.
Mhm.
If I'm overseas.
Yes.
And I'm looking to come to the UK to invest.
Mhm.
What advice would you give? So as well as it would be nice for them to come to you, absolutely, but it's all about giving them a snippet of information about, where to find the right properties or. So give me advice. I'm overseas. I want to invest in London in opulent areas. What's my first step?
The first thing I would need to find out is what exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for an apartment? Are you looking for a house? Are you looking for a commercial property? There are times when people say, I want to buy a property in London, but they're not being specific. So first of all is understanding exactly what kind of property you're looking for. What is your budget? There are people who say they're looking for properties. Find me something in Mayfair. Mayfair can range from 800,000 to 50 million pounds. What is your budget? And also understanding your financial arrangement. Are you going to buy cash outright or are you going to get financing? Do you have all that in place? And also understanding the stamp duty involved. You need to understand what stamp duty you'll be paying. Are you buying in your own name? Are you buying in an SPV, which is a special purchasing vehicle? Some people choose to buy properties in an SPV, or some people choose to buy in their own names. So understanding the taxes is very important as well. And also understanding the areas. Mayfair is Mayfair, but there is parts of Mayfair that is more expensive than other parts. Where exactly do you want to be? Do you want to be on Mount Street, where you can go to specific restaurants, specific members only club? Do you want to go to Berkeley Square, where you can have members only club like Annabelle's? Where do you want to be? So understanding exactly where you want to be in Mayfair is also very important, and that can determine the price you pay.
Yeah, perfect. I wanted you to talk about the difference between an investment opportunity as well as finding a retirement home. So you mentioned to me that someone from overseas, if they were to look for properties here, it will be mainly for investment opportunities and looking at the dividend yield or making a profit at the end, the exit strategy, rather than having to actually live here.
Okay, so, as their second home?
Maybe as a second home or something.
Okay. So, yes, so again, it goes back to understanding why you're acquiring that property. There are people who are acquiring it because, of course, the UK goes without saying that is number one place for investors in property especially. So are you buying that property for you to, to have the money at the end, appreciation of the asset, or are you buying so that you can get income from it? You can get rent, or are you buying as a second home? I have clients who acquire properties for different reasons. They are buying second homes. They have another home in Monaco, or they have another home in Los Angeles, Hong Kong. you know. So understanding exactly the reason why you're buying that property is very important, and it would be able to determine or to help you know where you can best invest.
Perfect.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
What sets you apart from your competitors?
With confidence.
With confidence, yeah.
I love.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. You know what?
dear.
This is daring, yeah. I want you to say no.
What
I want
should
you
I
to say
say?
you're a female, and you know what? That's what sets me apart. I think a woman has a touch. A woman has her. Like, if you were to say it like that,
Feminist. I don't want to be feminist.
I think you're more than that, though. There's
No,
more to a
I'm not
business
saying
than-
it like that, but remember, yeah, we want to. Why are you dying? We want to be. We want to differentiate ourselves in some way or another, right? There are like so much content out there. We want it to be like, even if it was shocking, as long as we can moderate it in a way. It's not like extreme where it's because I'm a woman. No, I feel the reason why I set myself from our competitors is because I have a woman's touch. I understand what people need.
Is that what you think? If you feel like, I feel like you should just be honest and just
Yeah,
with
yeah. No,
whatever it is.
I think there are men that understand what people need. You know. Yeah. Okay. I can talk. Should I talk?
Go for it.
Okay. Well, what sets me apart from my competitors is that I'm sure you can tell I'm very gentle. I like to take my time to understand exactly what it is that you need so that I can give you the best service possible. I'm not all about the commission, although the commission is always makes the difference, but it's understanding and building relationships that last a lifetime. I'm not all about the now. Long term, I want to invest my time into the service that I give my clients because I want them to come back tomorrow, come back next year to recommend their family, their friends, and other people because of the service they would have received from me. With other companies, some of them are very corporate. They're very, each department deals with different things, and you might not deal with the same person regarding your property every day. But with my company, it's a small company, but I'm always involved in everything. I'm involved in if you're acquiring a property, if you're looking to sell a property, if you want your property managed, or if you're looking to rent your property, I'll always be involved in those transactions.
Perfect.
How was that?
You couldn't have said that.
That was really good.
Couldn't have said that better. That was good.
Have you got any more questions, or should we start doing more of a tour?
So let's do 2-3 questions. The reason why I'm doing that is because, and you already understand this, we can repurpose this in so many ways.
Of course, yeah.
And I feel that I want her to give like some sort of value, but not about her business.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm going for the
that,
business side of things. But
yeah,
no,
it has to be. I want to give value because I have the knowledge. I'm not trying to advertise my business, but this is for the organic side, right? So you see the ones where you're talking about your business like directly, that could be for ads, yeah. But when it comes to organic, you want to show that I'm free to give value. I'll give you value. You know what? If you're overseas and you're coming here, by the way. If you was to go to Mayfair, there is a lovely restaurant, around the corner called so and so. It's amazing for you to take your clients there if you have a meeting, things like that. So that I think, yeah.
So why do you ask questions where she gives value for like the everyday how the person is going to purchase a house?
Yeah. So how about this? So tell me about the research that you do for each individual property, so you can cater it to
my
clients.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So to start with, I get an inquiry from a potential buyer. I get in touch with them by email. I meet them at their hotel, or they give me a call. They tell me a bit about what they're looking for. I ask them the relevant questions that will help me find exactly what they're looking for. What is important to them? Is it the property having a garden? Should the house, are they looking for a house or do they want an apartment? Are they looking for facilities, a property with facilities like a gym, or what is it that is important to them? Then after that, I shortlist properties within their price bracket and specification. I send it to them, and then they can come back to me and tell me that they want to arrange viewings for this and that property. I accompany them for the viewings. We have a look at the properties together, and then after that we sit down and go through the properties. I want to hear from them. What do they think? Which properties are closer or meet their requirements? What do they think about the price? Are they willing to put an offer now, or is it something they want to think about when they go back home or to their hotels? Then from there, if we're moving things forward, then we can get in touch with the agent and their lawyers to put in formal instructions or a formal offer on the properties on the property that they've liked.
Okay, perfect. Can you name me 3 of the best hotels in opulent areas like London if I was to come from the overseas today?
Yes, absolutely. I tend to have meetings in lots of hotels around Mayfair because, of course, I'm based in Mayfair. It depends on what you like. I have clients who love the Ritz. I meet them at the Ritz. I have clients who love Claridge's. These are all 5-star hotels. I have clients who like the Connaught Hotel.
And how much are these? What is an average price for to stay?
It depends. It depends on what room you're looking for. Okay. These are 5-star, providing very luxurious service. So it depends on how well you want to stay in London. So the prices vary, but we have very good relationships with the 5-star hotels, and depending on where you want to be, we can always help you.
What's your favorite restaurant?
In Mayfair?
Could be in Mayfair or in opulent areas like Knightsbridge or whichever one you want.
My favorite restaurant is, let me see. I don't want to be very biased because I eat a lot.
3 best restaurants.
3 best restaurants. Italian. Delfino's. Delfino's is on Mount Street. I love the food. Amazing. Italian. Gavaroche is on Upper Brook Street. It's French. Amazing. It's owned by Michel Roux Jr. and the food is fantastic. Another restaurant that I like Zuma, Japanese. Very nice.
Okay. Do you ever go out with, this question won't be in there. When you go, with your husband somewhere, or going out in the nightlife, what do you think is the best club in London?
In London, it depends. I actually don't go out in the night. I don't go out.
Have you heard of any clubs that are, quite popular in London?
I hear lots of clubs where the royals go around in Mayfair, but I've never been to those clubs. Yeah.
Okay.
But mostly with high net worth clients. Some of them they like members only clubs. So very exclusive. Not everyone goes there. They have the privacy they require, and that's very important. There is something I wanted to say actually. I wanted to talk about discretion. it's very important dealing with these particular clients. I think it would be good to
definitely
to sell it out as well.
Okay. So you actually want to like get into detail with this question, or do you want to have this conversation now?
I can get into.
How do you accommodate your clients that are looking for a discrete purchase?
Yes, well, that's majority of my clients. They're very high net worth, and they don't want people knowing their business. So it's very important that you understand how to deal with these people, and that you make sure information about who they are remains secret.
Okay, so let's do that again. I want it to be like remains classified, and I ensure that I get them from A to Z.
Okay.
As smoothly as possible.
Okay. All right. So what was the question again?
So if you can, do you remember the question?
Yeah. So how do you accommodate your clients that are looking for a discrete service?
Yes, that's actually 85% of the service. Most high net worth clients would like to remain anonymous if they have to, because of their attention around whatever it is that they're doing. We make sure that if it's viewings that we're going for, sometimes we don't have to tell the agent who it is. It might be a celebrity, and because once you tell some people, they might have cameras, paparazzis ready or waiting. So you have to manage your client's confidentiality properly, and you have to make sure that you don't disclose unnecessary information about them and what they are doing, their movements, and it's also for their security as well. Making sure that you don't give information that you don't have to, and that's very important to Eton Properties. We have a lot of high net worth clients who value the service because they know that their information is, highly confidential and between us and them.